Hey everyone, welcome to The Word on the Street Is with Michael and Gabby, where we mention it all about your favorite Bravo-lebrities and the shows they star in.
Hey friends, welcome to episode 66. We are very excited because we have an awesome guest on for the first time today, Melissa Feaster of the Side Piece Show podcast. Hey Melissa.
What up? I'm so happy to see you guys.
We're so happy to have you.
Yeah, we're so happy to see you. And you live really close to the Orange County Housewives.
I'm close to the OC action, probably closer to the Beverly Hills ones.
Okay.
I don't know if that's more frightening though. Probably.
Have you ever seen any Beverly Hills or OC Housewives in real life, like when you're out and about?
You know what? Actually, it's funny that you said that. I was just thinking about this the other day. So before I had Side Piece and I'm also a nutritionist and I have a business where I like help people with nutrition. I actually had a healthy baked goods business where I sold healthy baked goods to places like Whole Foods and like gyms, like coffee shops, just like a ton of places around here in the LA area. And like I got one on Delta Airlines, but one of them I sold to Whole Foods. And I would be like Bethany Bakes. Like I literally would be that girl being like, hi, do you want to try my banana bread? Like all day long, literally in the grocery store. And Lisa Rinna, I would be in the corner in the bakery and it wasn't like a big store and you kind of have to go the other way to get into the main store as opposed to the bakery. But I kind of saw her, and this was pre-Side Piece, Bravo, anything. So of course I was like into Bravo, but not like the psycho that I am now. But that was probably the one I would say. And Harry from Sex and the City. Harry.
Oh, okay.
You know, Charlotte's.
Yeah, Charlotte's
Harry.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. He actually tried one of my breads in Whole Foods. And I'm like,
ooh.
Harry just ate my bread. I was like
fangirling.
Yeah. It was so dope. I think that's awesome. It though, actually out here.
That's amazing.
But I hang out with like people like I'm cool with like Cynthia Bailey and I are like super cool. So before she went to Big Brother and had a quarantine, like we went to dinner and we were hanging out because I actually had Mike Hill, her husband, on Side Piece I don't know, 6 months ago. And then Mike and I were cool, kept in touch, formed like an awesome relationship. And then through that, the four of us, my husband and then the two of them, we all went to dinner. And and it was fun. And like, you know, it was awesome. It was amazing. It was with Mike and Cynthia. Like anyone that's a Bravo fan, you're like, holy shit, this is chill.
Yeah.
So then Mike and I were always cool. And then Cynthia and I started just like talking and like hanging out. And she called me actually the day before and she was like, hey, Mike can't come with me. Would you want to be my date to the Ultimate Girls Trip premiere, which is tomorrow? Because it was in LA. And I was like, duh. So I went. It was amazing. Like freaking, I'm there with Cynthia and we're talking. We're just chit-chatting. She's like checking her hair, fixing her makeup. And freaking Melissa Gorga, Kenya, who else?
Teresa,
Louie. They all walk in and I'm like,
my God.
It was just like Kyle Richards was the first one that I met. And we we're just like, the three of us were just like chit-chatting like this. And I'm sitting back and they're all at the table just eating before the show was starting. And I'm like, what the actual F is going on right here? Like,
what was Melissa Gorga like in real life?
Nice.
She was
nice.
That's awesome.
Teresa was, and I have said this before. I was telling this story. I don't know if it was on like an intro or somewhere in my podcast, but I was like, how is Teresa going to, listen, all of us would probably be like, how is Teresa going to be? I had James Leonard, her attorney. So it's like Teresa, the attorney that was, drove her to, the attorney of attorneys. I had him on Side Piece and then he and I got really cool. And I told him, I'm like, yo, tomorrow I'm going to the Ultimate Girls Trip premiere with Cynthia. And he's like, Teresa's going to be there. I'll tell her to go and like say hi and talk with you and everything. And I'm like, cool. So Teresa walks in. Cynthia's like, hey, this is my friend Melissa. And Teresa was like, so nice to meet you. Jim told me so much about you, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
yeah, it was dope. And then Louis walks in right behind her. And I know, especially as the season has started, like he's been getting a lot of heat. This guy was so cool, so nice, so real, genuine. Look at, we're the same, right? Midwest.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in LA now, but I grew up in the Midwest. Like,
Yeah.
he was so down to earth. He was so cool. So like, I was just such a fan of him. I basically spent the whole night with him because the girls were off doing stuff. He was amazing. Amazing.
Wow.
That's so cool. I've
Yeah.
heard really good things about Teresa, actually. Like every encounter I've heard, she's like super nice. So
She's been incredible. And we've kept in touch since, and she's, you know, been awesome. And Dolores, I mean, like, I know we're completely veering off, but
No, it's
there's
okay.
like there's a bunch that are just like incredible. Dolores has been, you know, amazing. I mean, I've had Frank on twice.
Oh, that's amazing.
He
I love Frank the Tank.
Frank is like amazing. I would literally do anything for him. So through him, then I've met Dolores and the fam, and everyone's just so incredible. Insane.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So Melissa has just shared a couple of the Bravo Lebs that she's interviewed on her podcast Side Piece show. Melissa, how did you get into podcasting and like all about Bravo?
Yeah, well, I've always been, I mean, a Psycho Bravo fan forever, right? Like just like from OC when they started however many years ago. Always loved Bravo. I met with a production company based out of New York. I was like, you guys are cool. They produce Watch What Happens Live. So they're really in the Bravo space. I was like, listen, I just had a business, a healthy baked goods business. But I love Bravo. I love sports. I know food and like nutrition. Like those are kind of like my areas. And they're like, what about something Bravo? Because we're so close to Bravo. And then a name is everything for me. Like I came up with Side Piece. I don't even know how, but like I think names are so dope. Like that's like the focus of everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I came up with the name Side Piece. And we're like, you know, a cool angle, because there's so many people that do like Bravo, whatever. What if we interview the Bravo sides? Because the main Bravo people, you know, the main Bravo people are always getting the love. But
Yeah.
what about the freaking Frank Catanias, the Mike Hills, like the ones that make up these big Bravo Lebs? And I was like, that's dope. We could do that. Now I'm a year in and I'm like changing. I'm literally, as we speak, I'm changing it to where I love Side Piece. I don't want to give it up, but people will actually email me back that I reach out to come on. And they're like, I mean, I would come on, but I'm not really a side piece. Like I get that a lot from these people if they're mains. Okay.
Yeah.
So now it is turned to, it's not side pieces. It's just like my life is madness. I'm a nutritionist. I have that business. I have the podcast. I have 2 kids under 4. I need an escape from the madness. I need a side piece.
Totally.
So that's what Side Piece is transforming into now, because again, it's like, you know, a few people have really been like, I'm not a side piece. Sorry.
I can imagine some housewives saying that.
Totally. So, I mean, listen, I was telling the story, like you get great and you get some not great. And, you know, you just have to take the great with the not great. Like I definitely get rejected and like certain people saying, you're like small peanuts for me. But then like I just had Alexia on from Miami, and I just had Denise freaking Richards on. So
yeah, that's amazing.
You know, like that shit, like you take anything in life, you guys, you take the good with the bad. So anyway, that's how Side Piece started. I had never in my life listened to a podcast ever in my life. And they're like, do you want to do a podcast? I'm like, sure. I'm just such a yes person. I'm like, as long as it involves me keeping my clothes on, like then cool, we're good with that. Or at least only one boob. You know, my husband draws a line after one boob.
Just one.
But like, they're like, you want to do a podcast? And I was like, sure. Again, I've never listened to it, but that's how the whole thing started. So
that's so great.
That's cool. Yeah, I love the evolution.
Well, since it's your first time on our podcast, The Word on the Street is, we would love if you could share with us your Bravo palette. If you could start with your 5 favorite Real Housewives of all time, past or present. And if you want to do them in order or out of order, it's up to you.
Okay, so just Housewives, anyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
The American Housewives.
Okay, so let's
Well, I could say like Bravo, not like, I don't know if you watch the International Housewives, but
yeah. Okay. So, I mean, of course, Teresa, like hands down. And again, like the element of meeting and knowing her elevates it, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Going off of that, Cynthia Bailey, because that's my friend and I love her, and Mike. I think she's just phenomenal. And then going off of that, Tamra, because I've had Tamara on and we are cool and we kept in touch, and she was supposed to come to my, like when COVID effed all that up, but like we were going to have birthday drinks and like get together. Tamara, hands down, we still talk. We're cool. That's for sure.
And you guys are both into fitness too.
Yeah. And she has cut and totally, I was like, hey, I'm a Stanford certified like nutritionist. Do you guys need anybody for cut? I'm like, how can I still be in your like crew?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're good, bitch. Like, you're
nice try.
I know. Tamara, so those 3 for sure. I think I would say, you know, in a weird way, again, after meeting her, I would say Kyle.
Okay.
She's like true OG. Mauricio is hot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then it was like, you know, again, everyone hears things off, just as everyone has done about Teresa. And I was like, oh, how's Teresa going to be? She was so dope when I met her. Same thing with Kyle. Like Kyle, we're just like it was like, we were like besties. I mean, she was dope. She was amazing. 4, that's 4. So we need one more.
Yes.
Who's my other like favorite all time? I would say, I mean, it's probably a split between Vicky and Nene, because
they're OGs. Yeah.
It's Vicky and Nene. Like, you know,
yeah.
It's just, I feel like it's different too. It's like, what's your favorite, or who do you think is like the ultimate, right? Because I feel like there's like the house, like Dorinda is such a good housewife, right? Mm-hmm. It's like some are great. Maybe they weren't meant for housewives, but like they're amazing. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's kind of like a mix of like their impact on the show versus like how much I like them.
Totally. Exactly.
Melissa, if you could share with us your 5 least favorite Real Housewives, I always love hearing this from people.
Okay. So I will say, because she's the one that I'm literally 2 small peanuts for her, Kelly Dodd.
Oh God, really? That's who said that? The one who's desperate to be on anything?
I mean, hello. Thank you, logic. Okay. So I'm like, hey, Kelly, you know, listen, I know I'm not like hundreds of thousands of followers, but like I've had some pretty decent guests and like current housewives and you know, stuff like that. I was like, hey, Kelly, I've had, and I've probably had 10 OC people at least. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yo, would love for you to come on. And she's like, well, listen, I appreciate the invite, but you know, I really have to be like careful about picking and choosing the podcasts that I go on.
Oh, please.
And I was like, okay, thanks. Who else said that? Can a house husband be a part of who I like to leave? PK actually gave me a lot of shit for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like about like you approaching him to be a guest, or like, wow. Like what?
So I get it. Like when I'm different though. Like I don't care if you have 5 followers or 500 followers, right? And it's like you all start somewhere. Like you guys know, you guys started a podcast. I started a podcast. I had no followers. I was like begging people to come on, right? So like I'm all like, you give back, you know, you give and all that stuff, right? And you give back to people starting out, just like people did for me when I was starting out.
Yeah.
So early on, I was like, hey, PK, would love for you to come on. And he was like, I'm not impressed by the few people that you've had on. And my rate is like $25,000 a minute. And
Oh my God.
I was like, are you being serious right now? I mean, this is text or like DM. So
Yeah.
I'm like, is this like funny? Haha.
British humor.
I can't tell if this is like funny, haha, or like you're just like a dick.
Yeah.
So I was like, just leave it, because my mouth, I wanted to go. And I was like,
Yeah.
just Melissa, just so
Not worth it.
Probably like a month or two ago, after I've been around for like a year and I have had some good guests, I was like, yo, did you all like, how about this now? And he's like, sorry, as you can see from the last season, I'm pretty popular now. So my rates have gone up.
Oh, ew.
And I was like,
Ugh.
okay, again, is this like a funny haha? Because I don't know if it's like funny haha to me, but maybe. And then I was like, okay, again, don't like, just simmer it down, Melissa. So then he was like, well, we left it on well, honestly, I'm just playing with you, but we can't do any podcasts when we're filming. And that's kind of how we left it. So
Oh well.
I don't know. That was, those two were probably the ones that were like the least nicest. I would say, unfortunately, it's like I kind of go back, like experiences too, kind of like throwing a bad taste, even if they're not like my least favorite. When I have like a bad experience, like I was super excited to have Mia on from Potomac. Like, really excited. I'm like, she's the new girl.
Yeah.
Like I had Monique, I had Wendy. I was like, okay, she'll be cool. They got back to me. They're like, oh, I love it. Girl power. Let's book it. And I was like, perfect. And I gave them all these times available. They got back to me and they're like, oh, sorry, Mia isn't available. Like, period. And I was like, wait, like not available ever?
Yeah.
Just like
no explanation.
And then nothing.
That's so unprofessional.
Yeah. So I don't know. So that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. And then I feel like, listen, if anyone's doing illegal things, they're not going to be my favorite housewife either.
Yeah, for sure.
I wish Erica could have just been like, yo, I'm not involved, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That would have made me really happy.
Is Erica your number 4 least favorite?
I don't know like who's like what order it is. Like,
okay, you just kind of,
yeah.
Okay.
Like I would just say, again, like just own your shit, right? Like,
yeah,
if we make mistakes, just be like, sorry, I might not be involved, but I apologize for what's going on and how all these people are affected. I would have been really happy about that. And I think the same thing with Jen Shaw. Like, if she's claiming like I didn't do it, like I know we've heard I didn't do it, but be like, you know what? I'm really sorry for the people that, especially like the elderly and all this, that like got ripped off and that this happened to. Like, I just feel like sorries go a long way. So I think that would probably be I don't even know if I said 5. Should I say 5? I threw PK in.
Yeah, we'll include the house. Yeah, PK.
So yeah, like just, sometimes when, that those two things, the last one, I think Erica and Jen are amazing housewives, but just like say sorry for shit that's going down with whatever you're doing or not doing.
Yeah, totally. Couldn't agree with you more. And then, so we obviously now know who your least favorite Real Housewives husband is. Do you have a favorite Real Housewives husband? Is it Frank Catania?
Oh yeah. I mean, Frank, Seth, and Mike. I mean, you can't compete. Frank, forget about it.
Do we want to get into some Bravo news?
Please. All of the Erica haters definitely had to eat their words because it snowed in Pasadena.
Oh my gosh, I saw that. That is so glorious. I was thinking that something came out about the case. And I'm like, am I behind about this too?
No, this was more of a lighthearted thing. And I saw a meme that was like only like the Bravo universe would find any importance of it snowing in Pasadena.
Yeah.
If I said that to my husband, he'd be like, okay, next. Can you change our kid's shitty diaper? Thanks.
I sent a screenshot to Michael that I texted this guy that I'm talking to. Like, did you hear that it snowed in Pasadena?
He's like, and we're done.
Yeah.
And we will not be having sex tonight. Thank you. Bye.
He actually was like, oh, it snowed in Pasadena. That's crazy. So,
He was trying to be nice.
He was like, should I send her that she's a crazy bitch or just try to be nice about it? Okay. That's nice. He might be a keeper.
He might be. We'll see.
Well, speaking of Beverly Hills, filming has wrapped for both Beverly Hills and Atlanta. So I think it's expected that Atlanta is going to come first, fingers crossed, like April, and then potentially Beverly Hills in May. So I'm excited. Those are two of my favorites.
I love both. It will be crazy too to just see how Cynthia and Portia off and like, you know, again, and like, I don't know. I think
it'll be a different dynamic for sure. Oh, May just feels too far away for me for Beverly Hills.
Far. That seems. I can't believe they stopped. They're wrapped already.
Yeah, both of them wrapped like last week. So
and
like
Salt Lake City's filming right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is like Potomac still hasn't started filming. So
I love Potomac. I feel like they're really underrated.
Yeah.
People always ask like what's one of your favorites, and hands down I always say Potomac. I just feel like there's something so like raw and again real, but like I don't know. I'm a fan of Potomac.
So another show that has recently wrapped filming is The Real Housewives of Dubai, and I'm not positive when that is premiering. Are either of you?
I'm not sure. I feel like they might hold that one out a little bit longer because it's like the first season.
I'm excited. Listen, Dubai is supposed to be sick. That's one of my like bucket list places for sure.
Yeah.
And Caroline Stanberry, to see her back. Like,
did you like Ladies of London?
Love.
Well, we were just talking about one new show, which is Real Housewives of Dubai, but there's also a new Below Deck show starting, which is Below Deck Down Under, and that's going to be premiering on March 17th.
That's coming up. Is that the one with the hot captain?
Yes.
He is our new stud of the sea, Captain Lee. Step aside.
Yeah.
This guy is really cute.
Dude, he is hot. I love Below Deck. That's probably one of my favorites outside of Housewives. Because there's so many, right? Like I've had a lot of Below Deck people on Side Piece. I can't wait for a new one. I love it. And I love that Aisha is going to be the chief stew. She's awesome. She was on Side Piece. She is amazing and awesome and so fun. So yeah, I love Below Deck. I can't wait.
Yeah. We hopefully at some point will be sleeping on Below Deck and covering it for the pod, but we're just still like 1 or 2 seasons behind, I think.
Yeah, we've covered Sailing Yacht because that one, you know, it had just started, so it was kind of easy to just pick that one up.
Yeah, they have there's so many great people from Below Deck. I mean, from Danny sailing to freaking Chef Ben. I mean, there's so many awesome people that are like fun and cool.
So now we're going to head over to the Sunshine State and cover the episode of Miami from February 10th. Larsa said that she has the best resume out of all the ladies, which is like one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was really dumb just because she's like, okay, I had the longest marriage and the most kids. I'm like, that doesn't really mean anything. You could have had a long marriage and been super unhappy. So the logic there, I don't know.
Yeah. I also feel like part of me sometimes I'm like, is she trying to prove? And then part of me is like, is she not? Like, is she like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm Larsa Pippen. So
I feel like it goes back and forth with her a lot. Like sometimes I feel like she's unbothered, and then sometimes I feel like she has something to prove.
right. Well, so my husband, I actually met my husband because I was going to a meeting to meet him, like not as like a setup like date, like just like as a meeting in like the business. He's in the entertainment world too. He's an agent.
Okay.
And sitting on his couch when I went to his office was Scottie Pippen's jersey.
Oh, wow.
And I was like psycho Bulls growing up.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, what is this jersey? And he was like, you're a psycho. I'm like, but what is this jersey? I love this. Like, I love Scottie Pippen. He's like, he's one of my clients. So this is, and he obviously wasn't my husband at the time, but my husband represents Scottie Pippen.
Oh,
So
that's
Larsa
cool.
was like, it's crazy to see, Scottie
Yeah,
on this
there's a
side
connection there.
and then
Yeah.
Larsa on the show. So
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm happy she's doing it.
Yeah, there's been starting to be some more tension between her and Adriana, which all stemmed from Adriana talking about Kanye's penis and seeing it. I'm not really actually a huge fan of either of them, but I actually was more on Larsa's side here just because I thought it was kind of like inappropriate of Adriana.
1,000%. Like, don't like that's my friend, right?
Yeah.
Again, whoever it is, I don't care if it's Kanye or the friend that she lives next to, like in her, like at her house. Like, just don't talk about my friend's dick.
Yeah, I thought that was just like really weird. And then she kept going on about it.
Yeah.
And then when like Larsa was like, okay, can you not, like, she got all defensive. So that kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, I agree too. Larsa, and I thought Larsa was kind of cool. Like, she just kind of was chill and didn't get crazy, and
Yeah.
she was being called a bitch and being yelled at, and she was pretty cool. I don't know. The whole thing was weird. Like,
Yeah. And I haven't been a huge fan of Larsa, but that was the first time I actually like was kind of on her side. So
yeah, just don't talk about people's like friends' dicks. That's
yeah,
it.
it was kind of
Thanks.
weird.
A good policy to abide by. Yeah, I thought it was really déclassé on Adriana's part. And I say that as an Adriana fan. But her and Larsa have been butting heads all season. So
Yeah.
I predict a screaming match at the reunion.
Yeah. And at this last episode had a to be continued with Adriana versus Larsa. So I'm excited to see that play
I'm
out
like
too.
10 minutes away from that. Oh my God, I can't wait to catch up. This is what I look forward to during nap and at night. This is like, the kids are sleeping. Now I get to watch my Bravo. No one bugged me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. The best part of the day. Now, the one good thing about Adriana talking about Kanye was we kind of got like segued into Larsa talking about her relationship with Kim. And basically she said she knew too much. And that's why her and Kim broke up or, stopped being friends, which I don't know if I really buy that, but I don't know.
That is such an ambiguous statement. Like, what does that even mean? I knew too much.
I mean,
About what?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think listen, obviously the whole situation with Kanye, whoever it is weird and weird. So I don't know. I wouldn't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole.
Okay, yeah, Kanye, he's not only is he insane, he's not cute. I've never found him cute.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's super unstable right now. So
Oh
I
my
don't
God,
know.
yeah.
I thought hearing about his big dick would help, and it still didn't help.
No.
So,
Didn't help.
No.
I'm still good where I stand right now.
Yeah.
What do we think about Lisa Hochstein this season? Like, we saw another bit of her storyline with like her in-laws. I don't know about either of you, but that just was never very interesting to me, even like back in the day when Miami was on, and it's not that interesting to me now.
I was shocked. I told Alexia, I just had Alexia on, whom I love. She was incredible. She was fun, down to earth, an amazing mom. Like, I love Alexia was everything when I had her on. She was amazing. But I asked her, I was like, I was really shocked to hear about the whole emotional affair. that Lenny had, like, because I don't feel like I heard about that
Mm-mm.
in the
Yeah.
press until it came out on the show. So that was shocking to me with Lisa and Lenny.
Yeah, I like Lisa a lot. But I feel like something with her storyline just doesn't feel super genuine this season. I feel like she's still holding back with like her relationship in a way. I feel like there is more going on, but I think she's trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, you know, he had this affair and now everything's like good. But I feel like there's more happening that she's not talking about.
She's so phony. And even like her tagline, like, we know your life isn't perfect. Like, I just feel like she's trying so hard to like give off this image that everything's amazing. And it's rubbing people, and I think by people, I mean me, the wrong way, because it just seems so inauthentic.
I don't have much else to mention on Miami.
Yeah, I'm good with moving on to Summer House. So this episode of Summer House, we saw that Maya was feeling like really hurt by the house, by like Andrea getting her name mixed up, and like Lindsay just like being really rude when like Maya wanted to go out with them. She just like basically was like, no, you can't come. And that was like really weird to me that Lindsay was being like that. So I felt really bad for Maya, but we saw that it led to a really productive discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that the ending of the episode. The episode itself, I was kind of bored, but that last like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever, was like super powerful. And it was nice seeing them all come together and huddle and like have a really productive conversation.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, listen, the episode was a little like slow.
Yeah.
But it was, I also think that, listen, I love the episode. I love that they talked about this because I think those kind of talks are good across the board.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that what is it? Andreas, right? No.
Andrea.
The guy.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. I don't think he maliciously meant to like,
No, I
that
don't
was
think
the only thing that I
either.
was like, I'm so happy that they had the talk because you should always, again, you should always have those conversations.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that guy is a malicious dick that like was
No.
purposely like calling. That was the only thing that I was like, yo, he didn't mean to do that. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
You know, we all know that little comments, you know, hit the belt and hit you in different ways and then bring out different emotions.
Yeah.
Something that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it was definitely a buildup of things and being new to a house, and then just given like her childhood and her past and things she's gone through, I think it just really triggered her.
Yeah.
So it was good that she was able to like bring it up and have that conversation with them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I hope she's like the newbie, like anybody else. We were just saying, hopefully she opens up and like she enjoys it more, because you can tell she's not even a fan, right? Like of being there and like, you know, so.
And hopefully. I think she's like, and considering the newbies, I'm enjoying her a lot more than the other newbie, Alex.
Oh God.
I just don't get, like, I don't get it.
Who's like working in casting these days at Bravo?
And so the crazy part is, like we were saying, a lot of these people don't know each other when they're thrown in.
Yeah.
These people actually do somehow know each other. Alex
I think knows so.
Somebody, Maya knew Paige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sierra, I feel like I forget who Sierra knew. I think maybe
Luke.
Paige. Well,
Luke.
Oh, Luke. Yeah, Luke. Duh.
Oh yeah, who's back?
Yeah, and then Luke finally came back this episode too.
Melissa, what do you think about Lindsay and Carl as a couple?
I think it's cool. Listen, I mean, they've clearly both have been through a lot on the show, off the show, together, not together. I think it's cool. Listen, I mean, I watched Watch What Happens Live, and he was with Kyle, and he was like gushing over Lindsay, and it was just like, it was cool, and it seemed genuine, real. So listen, I like it. Carl has his shit together. He's sober, which is amazing.
Yeah.
They seem really happy. Yeah.
They're best friends. No one knows each other more than they do. So I dig it. I'm into it. I'm into it.
Yeah.
So now, since we're already on the East Coast, we're going to head over to New Jersey from our Hamptons peeps. And in this episode of New Jersey, we saw Gia and her sweater line with the waking up in the morning on her sweatshirt. Super excited for her.
I love it. Capitalize, baby. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that. Like, go. Listen, everybody else comes on these shows for marketing. So it's like,
Yeah.
go. Like you did this. This is actually what you did. Actually, we should appreciate Gia even more because she did this 10 years ago.
And
it's
it
not like
just
she-
got popular on
Right,
TikTok.
exactly.
Like,
So like that makes it even more like cool. It's not like she
Yeah.
just came up with some product. Like I want
Uh-huh.
to do a
Yeah.
candle line that and I'm on
yeah.
the show. Like this was real. And like 10 years ago, before anybody else even did products or made businesses
Yeah.
out of the shows. So
Yeah. And I'm huge on like, I love Teresa, Gia, Melania. Like they're like the reason I love Jersey so much. So I actually do have one of Gia's sweaters and I meant to wear it, but I forgot.
oh my God, that's amazing. That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a traumatic time, like when she was singing it, but I think it's awesome that she's capitalizing on it. I mean, why not?
for
If you
her.
can
I
make
love
money, do it.
I love it.
Gia's just having a great season overall. Like she has her first individual confessional look this season that she looks really beautiful in. Like Gia's a gorgeous girl. Like I've always said, she looks a lot like Naomi from Southern Charm. Like I think they're doppelgangers.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good call. I didn't even see that until you just said that. That's a good call. I think Gia's gorgeous. I mean,
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, so gorgeous. And they're both like really unique looking, but they look freakishly similar to me. And then they
That's-
like both had nose jobs and they're
Yeah.
really similar.
Hey, listen, I have nothing against like do what you need to do to make yourself feel better. I mean,
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
these lines would be way worse. Thank you, Botox. My kids
Yeah,
would make this a lot worse.
I
So-
got my nose done too. So
You did?
yeah.
That who said it? Who said it on a show recently? Like obviously it's and it means common sense, but like the key to good work is to making it seem like you didn't have work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, back to the episode. So another kind of important part was Jackie was out to dinner with Evan and she really opened up more about her eating disorder. You know, it's been a big thing with her throughout throughout her time on the show, but she is really candid about how she feels like her eating disorder is getting worse. And she really was talking about finally going to see a therapist for it. So I always love when housewives can be super open about things like that. So
Yeah, I thought she was really vulnerable. And I also gave Evan kudos because he seemed really supportive of her. He was like, yeah, whatever you need to do, like I support you. And it was just a really nice moment between the two of them. Obviously, they had a really rocky season last year because of a rumor. And
Right, totally.
But yeah, they seem like a solid housewives couple.
I like Evan. I like Evan a lot.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy.
I like their relationship a lot.
And
I like how he
like,
calls her Angel. I think it's really sweet.
I know. And Jennifer supposedly like trying to find out more information about the chick that he actually did have an affair with. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that was messy, but I love that Jackie like got over it and she's been like so supportive of Jennifer. So that's been making me like Jackie a lot more this season. Back to Dolores, she revealed this episode that she's not with David anymore, which I think a lot of us aren't super surprised. And obviously we know she has a new man now. So I'm happy for her. She seems to be happy with her new guy and hopefully is getting what she deserves out of that relationship.
She upgraded big time with her new man and they just went on a trip to Ireland together.
Yeah.
Super fun.
He said it was awesome. He's like, she met my family. Like it was really cool. Like he said it was incredible. Yeah.
I'm excited to see him on the next season.
I know. I don't know if this is his jam, but I don't think it was Louis' jam either. But if you're gonna be with
Yeah.
these chicks,
Yeah.
then you just have to do it.
You just have to roll with it. So
Totally.
And speaking of Dolores, she actually was just modeling for Leah McSweeney's brand Married to the Mob. She looked gorgeous in all the photos.
She's hot.
yeah, I loved that.
So she's so like such a knockout.
Yeah.
Frank is like, but I tell her every day she needs to stop. Like, okay, you've had enough, Dolores. No more. No more work. You're beautiful. Let's stop it. Let's stop it.
We learned something interesting about Frank this episode, actually. I didn't realize that the kids have never lived with Frank before. Like,
Yeah.
and Gabby refers to him as Frank. And I was like, oh, this dynamic's actually even more bizarre than I originally thought. Cause I thought they'd all like lived together as a family, but they broke up when Dolores was pregnant with Frankie Jr.
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah. But you know what though?
Crazy.
I have, my parents are divorced, and they divorced when I was 5. They both remarried when I was 6. And I always felt bad calling one mom and one like the name, and then one dad and one the name.
Yeah.
So I started calling everybody just by their first name because I wanted everybody to kind of feel equal.
Yeah.
So like even with my mom, I'll call her Pam.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I don't, obviously this is not the same dynamic, but
yeah, I get it though. Yeah.
I wasn't judging it, more so just like observing and just realizing there were some factors that I didn't realize were there.
Right.
Before.
Yeah. I mean, they listen, everyone across the board can say that that family of probably anybody on Bravo has the craziest, you know, unorthodox setup ever in family history. You know, divorces, still everyone living together and David and Frank and Dolores. I mean, the whole crew, right?
So, yeah, it's an interesting dynamic for sure.
And Frank breaking both of his legs and David taking care of him.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Frank maybe going back and living with David.
Yeah.
So I think the whole thing is,
The big part of this episode, which was a to be continued, was Jackie and Dolores got into a pretty big fight, which we had seen in the trailer. And like I said last week, I'm more team Jackie right now. Just because I feel like, okay, yeah, maybe Jennifer was a little messy, like telling Dolores what Jackie had said. But I do feel like Dolores plays the fence a lot, not just like in this situation, but a lot of the time she does. And she got called out for it. And I don't think she was happy, but
she doesn't like that.
It's the reality. So, and I think that she thinks that Jackie's an easy target and is kind of weak in her eyes. And so I was really happy to see Jackie really not backing down to her.
Yeah, I can't believe how much I'm standing Jackie this season. It's like weirding me out. Like
it's was so crazy.
What's the word I'm looking for? She was so confident in herself, the way she was like, don't call me this.
Yeah.
This. I loved it.
Yeah, she was definitely not backing down. And Dolores is like scary when she's fighting too. So I was proud of Jackie. I'm really liking her right now. But I think that's a good segue into OC.
Yeah. So we start the episode with the Dubrow family going to Nobu. They're really pushing this restaurant this season.
Yeah. Max and Kat were fighting a little bit. Yeah. And later on in the episode, we learned more about Kat's sexuality as well. And like I've said, I don't love how they're like in the group dynamic so much, but I do think that she's like a really supportive mom. And so that was nice to see.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful the way she supports all of her children, especially Kat coming out as a lesbian. And she's said she's like been dealing with bullying, and her coming out hasn't been the same as when Max came out. And it's just, it's been a struggle for her. So I love how Heather was talking about in her confessionals that like she truly believes like the least you can do for your children is love them, and to like not love them for being gay. Like she just can't understand that. And like, I really commend her for sharing that, because it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I do respect Heather a lot as a parent, and like I said, I'm glad that she's so supportive of her kids.
Yeah, it's awesome. And something that's not so awesome is Dr. Jen revealing that Ryan has packed up and left.
Yeah, this was kind of one of the main focuses of the episode. Jen came to Shannon's like, oh, I'm not going to talk about it. And then that's all we talked about. So,
Yeah, that's a common theme for sure.
and then Noella like always backtracks and makes it about her situation.
Yeah, and that really ticked Emily off. It like became
Yeah.
Noella versus Emily all of a sudden.
And I get like Noella was like trying to relate, like, oh, I'm going through a divorce, but like, even so, the situations are like completely different. So think, I don't think her intentions were bad, but I was like, okay, well, this really doesn't relate as much as you think it does.
Yeah, it came across as pretty like tone deaf and unaware on
Yeah.
Noella's part to everybody, and she just like wasn't getting that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because I think it's pretty rare to have your husband like move to Puerto Rico and like file for divorce. I think,
Yeah.
Jen's situation's different. I mean, obviously she's going through a divorce and Jen's sort of feels like she's getting there too. But anyway, I just think Noella didn't. It was a little bit tone deaf. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Heather and Shannon were like making a big deal about like eating edibles, which like
Yeah.
it was like kind of funny, but it got a little bit cringe.
Yeah. It was funny at first just because like Shannon, she's so like, I don't know. She's so like anxious all the time. So I feel like, yeah, I guess an edible might be good for her. But then like Heather is like uptight a lot too. So I can't really picture Heather doing that. So it was funny. And then I was like, okay, it's like getting old now.
Yeah, I don't like when people make like such a big deal about like doing edibles and stuff, and it just
Yeah. It's been
legal and
legal for how
yeah.
long?
I know, and
But
they're acting like it's a brand new thing doing edibles. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
That just kind of annoys me.
Yeah, I agree. It was like a little bit and then nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I could have used a microdose of that.
Of the microdosing.
Yes.
But that's all I really had for this episode.
Yeah, this season probably only has a couple more episodes left. Thank you so much to Melissa for being on our podcast. We absolutely loved having you. If you could share with our listeners your Instagram and the name of your podcast where they can find you, that would be awesome.
You guys, thank you. I appreciate this. I'm so happy that we made it work from East Coast to West Coast.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. I love, listen, I'm fans of anyone that loves Bravo and is Psycho Bravo as much as I am. So thank you. I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to have me on. So my
thank you.
podcast is Side Piece. And you can find me at Side Piece Show.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. It was great chatting with you.